what sense is closed-mindedness reprehensible? Is it merely deserving of criticism, or is it also blameworthy? Well, it definitely has bad effects. We already saw in the case of Major General Zira and Donald Rumsfeld that it can have really bad effects, especially if the person has a significant leadership position. So we know it's reprehensible. We know it's at least criticizable. The further question we want to ask is it blameworthy? Now, when we're talking about blame, we're talking about responsibility. Is the closed-minded person responsible for being closed-minded? Kassam distinguishes between two different kinds of responsibility. We can have acquisition responsibility, so we are actually responsible for acquiring the epistemic vice of closed-mindedness on that view. But we can also have revision responsibility, which just means that the person, if they wanted to, could change themselves so as to be less closed-minded. Kassam thinks that the most relevant thing here is revision responsibility, because he doesn't think anyone says, when I grow up, I want to be super closed-minded. But what about revision responsibility? Is the trait of closed-mindedness susceptible to regulation and management of any kind? If not, then it's just criticizable. If you can't have any kind of recourse to changing yourself, then you might be reprehensible, but you're not blameworthy. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so if you don't have revision responsibility for your closed-mindedness, then you can't be blamed. And this leads into the next discussion, which is about the way that closed-mindedness functions as a stealthy vice. If a vice like closed-mindedness prevents you from detecting the fact that you're closed-minded, doesn't that prevent you from being responsible for it? I mean, how can you do anything about it if you can't even become aware of the fact that you're closed-minded?